Hello everybody, this is Open Carry Mike with Michigan Gun Rights. I'm coming to you with a product review today. Hopefully we will be able to start doing more videos like this and getting our YouTube channel up and running. For the moment, I did want to do this review. I've been sitting on this belt for a few weeks now. I wanted to build a new setup to get this video done. So I've kind of been chomping at the bit because I have not actually seen the belt yet. So we will be able to do this unboxing and you can see my initial reaction to it. This here is my old belt. Now this is a gun belt, so I'm not particularly dissatisfied with the belt. I've been using this belt with my everyday carry for about 2 years now, and it is a good belt, and I'm sure you guys realize how important a good belt is, especially when you're using a traditional on the hip carry. But I did want to upgrade to something a little bit better. Something that actually has a core laden into the belt to give it more support. So I'm going to go ahead and toss this one down, and we can get to opening this box. The company that I got this from is called Bigfoot gun belts. It was recommended to me by a friend. I got this belt in probably about a 2-week turnaround. So for something that is custom built, that's pretty good. They did have me take my measurements and send them my measurements. So this is going to be, a pretty good fit to my size. Now the thing that is special about this belt, and what I was kind of intrigued by, is the core that goes inside the leather here. It is not a plastic core like most companies are going to use. This actually uses a spring steel core. So if you've ever worked with spring steel, you'll know that it is one of the strongest steels that you can get, as far as, not the real exotic, Chinese made steels and this and that. But alright, to start, I'm going to go ahead and read this little guide that they sent with it. One side is just kind of a statement from the company. This one has a little bit of information. Every Bigfoot gun belt is crafted from English bridle leather. This natural material is made from the highest quality cowhide and is known for its rich appearance and remarkable strength. We handle our products with utmost care, though slight irregularities in the consistency of the leather should be expected due to the natural character of the animal. To ensure your belt has a long, healthy life, we recommend keeping it clean by occasionally wiping it down with soapy water and treating it every 6 months with your favorite leather conditioner. Maybe if I would have done that, my old belt would not be in such bad shape after just 2 years. Alright, quality guarantee. Your belt is backed by our 7-day test drive and legendary warranty. This provides you with a chance to wear your belt for a full week at no risk. If you're not satisfied with your belt, send it back for a full refund. More information can be available at their website. Again, I'll give you all that information at the end of the video. So, my first initial reaction, it is a little bit thick, but being that it's also custom made, I won't have to wrap this around so long. My old belt, once I lost a little bit of weight, got so long that it wanted to actually go through and hit my gun. So that should be kind of a non-issue with a custom made belt. They do have this nice little snap here. They told me it can be used to put different belt clips on here. I'll probably keep this one. I'm probably going to be good and satisfied with this style here, but for anyone that's more interested in changing that out, it looks like they set you up to be able to do that. These snaps are nice and thick, nice and big, probably about the biggest I've seen, so that's pretty impressive. Now the one thing, probably the most important thing that I've been looking forward to, is to see the lateral strength here, and it feels pretty stiff and tight. I'll grab my old belt just to give you a little bit of a comparison. You know, this, as you can tell, is with little effort, is just breaking down. You know, so this really should be quite an improvement. I'm going to do a couple more videos after I get a chance to wear it a little bit and let you know how it actually performs. But as you can see, with no effort, this belt buckles pretty well. But this one, there's hardly any flex with it at all. So I think that's going to be pretty impressive. So I am looking forward to it. I talked to a shop in my area. He said that it really will only be slightly more comfortable because, you know, just his opinion, a supported belt really wasn't all it's cracked up to be. Now that I take a look at it and what I've talked with him about, and he kind of agreed with me, and the reason I started looking into this is because my old belt, I had to make it a little bit too tight, or else it would, you know, the gun, you know, would just want to kind of flop over. That's the idea behind having a supported belt. It'll get a little bit less movement in that direction. So I'll tell you what I'm expecting. I'm expecting to be able to not have to have this belt so uncomfortably tight. And that's kind of what I had to do with my old belt. Before I get into the next portion of the video where I'm going to go ahead and try this belt on, just for the heck of it, I went ahead and grabbed me a magnet. So let's see how thick this steel is. This isn't a very strong magnet. I believe it's somewhere around a half-pound magnet, as far as magnet ratings go. So let's see what happens, and what do you know? Must be a good chunk of steel in there, because the magnet does fit. Doesn't seem to want to move too easy. Like I said, it's a pretty weak magnet to begin with, which kind of tells you that throughout the thickness of this here belt, there's a good portion of steel in here. It's not a real thin steel. A weak magnet this way, you know, wouldn't be able to penetrate the leather if there was more leather and less steel. So there's obviously a pretty good amount of steel in there, because that magnet doesn't want to move. If I shake it hard enough, it'll move. I gotta tell you, the more I handle this thing, I am getting a little bit more excited about it. I was trying not to be excited. I didn't want to set myself up to, you know, be disappointed. But the more I look at it, you know, it is a good thick belt. The seam between the two straps does seem to be pretty good, pretty impressive. A lot of times you can, you know, see where they stitched them together. They did good work there. The actual stitching itself, while I am not a expert on sewing things, does look to be pretty good. They have nice thick stitching here that is pretty consistent all the way around. My old belt, I'll go ahead and show you, uses some nice thin thread. As you can tell, that thin thread broke pretty easy. I just bought this belt at the local gun store 2 years ago. I could probably make out this little label they got stamped onto it. Made in Panbury? Purgatory? I don't know. But you can tell that the stitching here, you know, it's all pretty much come loose, feathering off. You know, if you want to go somewhere nice, you know, this wouldn't be too attractive for the folks that care about that kind of thing. The buttons did stay on, but I'm looking forward to something a lot better. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut out, actually get the belt put on and let you know how it fits and how it feels. I'm pretty impressed. I think I'm getting a little bit excited about this, so hopefully it'll meet up to those expectations. Alright, I am back. I put on some light colored clothing. I've got my original gun belt on. As you can see, little pieces here just coming off. The belt is at a pretty comfortable level. It's not too tight, but you know, the gun still, you know, flops around. If I move around a little bit, you know, it starts, you know, you can see the play that it has here. It just starts moving around. And when I get out working, you know, I'm running machines, you know, if I'm just out in the yard picking stuff up, you know, it starts to sag down pretty bad. The only way to get over that is to tighten it. And the tighter I get, the better it holds. But the more uncomfortable it gets, and it gets to the point where at the end of the day, I just can't wear it anymore. I've got to get it off because it's so uncomfortable. You know, it does tighten up, but pretty uncomfortable at the same time. Alright, now I've went ahead and switched out the belts. Now I do want to say one thing that I noticed. This belt is a lot easier to put on. And I think it's due to, you know, partly not having to be too tight. And, you know, having this much more premium leather, you can tell that the surface is a lot more smooth. So when it's going through your belt loops and when you tighten it down, you know, it moves a lot easier to get it on. Once it's on, you know, you hook it up, it doesn't move. But I can tell you one thing right off the bat, and this is what I was hoping for. I have this at a comfortable tightness. You know, I've got it on the second hole, second loop, and it's not overly tight. And that's, as I mentioned, that's the problem that I have with the other belt. In order to keep my gun from moving, to keep it from sagging down, you know, I had to have it really tight. This one is comfortable. I could wear this all day long without having, you know, any problems at all, without it, you know, just getting so tight that it's uncomfortable and unbearable to keep wearing. And as you can tell, there is virtually no play in this gun. It will not go up, it will not go down. You know, I'm impressed. I'm going to enjoy using this belt. I don't want to get too excited, but I think I really am, because, you know, the work that I do a lot of physical labor, you know, and you know, when you're climbing up into machines, you're getting in and out of a tall truck, you know, and you're working with dirt and with the ground, and you know, it does, you know, it's vigorous work, and you know, everything moves around, and your gun just sort of starts drooping down more and more. In fact, I might be able to give you a nice good look here. You can tell, hopefully if I'm in the shot here, this belt has a curvature to it because it's constantly being pulled down. I don't suspect that is going to be much of a problem with this belt, mainly because of the steel that's in it will keep it from bowing down. The thickness of the belt had no problem at all. It went every loop easily. The only problem that I would ever run into would be if I had to double up with a longer belt and go through the loop again. Some belts have smaller loops that might have that problem, but being that this is a custom built belt made specifically for my length, or for my body, you know, the length of it is perfect. And you can see here, you know, I got an extra hole there, and it comes through the loop. Loop seems to always be right in the right spot. I can adjust it if I need to, and it overall, I just gotta say this thing is comfortable. I can't get over that. That's what I've been looking for. Something that didn't have to be too tight. I am going to do some more videos. I'm going to do a little bit of work, do a couple more videos to see how it holds up, to see if it holds up doing the kind of work that I do. But right off the bat, you know, there's no movement here. that sagging, you know, for some people might not be an issue. For me, it just made it incredibly uncomfortable having this constantly sagging down. I'm not the kind of guy to sag, so having my gun sag down just is not comfortable. And I'm really impressed. I'm really looking forward to getting some use out of this belt. Looking forward to showing you guys the results of it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will put up a link to the company so that you can check out everything they have to say. Take a look at it. I gotta say, I'm impressed. I do like it. It feels better. It looks better. It's comfortable. I'm not having to, you know, crank down on the belt to keep it from moving. You know, everything is right where I want it to be, right on my hip. I mean, it feels perfect. It really does. It feels perfect.